What's happening, everybody? We've got music on, I say. We just put it on real low. Tell me if that background music gets annoying. We'll be streaming along tonight anyway, guys. General Tron is in the house. Caught you on the start. Did, mate. Well done. Just a cheeky late night stream tonight, guys. First day back in work after being off sick for between sick and holiday. Not including those couple of days I tried to go to work and failed. Been off for about 5 weeks. So went back today, no problem, but absolutely wiped out after what, was one day. So thankfully I'm back off again tomorrow. So Juan Carlo Thompson, new to the stream, new to the channel. Hola. Juan Carlo, please go and subscribe to the channel. As you can see on the bottom, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm streaming live every single day until we do. So you can help me do that by hitting that sub button, and I appreciate it. And obviously stay in the chat and find out what's going on. I'm just gonna add a little something to the showcase on portrait mode, which is where Juan Carlo is. So you can do a Q&A on that version. I didn't realize that. Let's see what we can do instead. I'll just pin a comment, I guess. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? This is the road to weekly daily live stream, so please go do that now and pin that. Job done. There we go. So let me know what you're up to. Ken, General Tron, Juan Carlo, what is the crack? What have you been up to, guys? It's a little bit later for you guys tonight as well because of the lack of time difference. So it's a quarter to midnight here. So it'll be quarter to 8 on the East Coast. Tron, I know you're out in Oregon, so you're only 7 hours behind at the moment as opposed to 8. But all aiming to the side, I'm feeling great at the moment. Got a newer air conditioner put in, twice as powerful as the last one. Ooh, sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Cool as a cucumber. I didn't even notice. It was spelled wrong the first time. Carlos Sanchez, KE5UT. Awesome name. Love the Funko Pop Stranger Things character, Dustin, for the profile pic. But Carlos Sanchez, this is the road to 1K daily live stream. It's day 14, and I'm going live every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can help me with that. By all means, hang around in the chat and join in. But please go and subscribe before you do anything else. Yeah, so so 4:45. So you're only 7 hours behind at the moment as opposed to the usual 8. But what's everybody been up to? What's the news? And any new Lego sets anybody's interested in at the moment? I actually kind of like the Triceratops Lego. A little bit excited for the new Mario. Hopefully, there's going to be a CMF, and I'm going to be probably buying all of those if they are a CMF. But I'm also kind of interested in the display set, similar to what they did with Sonic, where they had that kind of classic level with the Mario figure. If they do something like that, I think that'd be pretty cool, and I'll be breaking my my commitment to just Star Wars Lego and buying that. But we did talk about some of these things in the show yesterday, so I don't want to focus too much on those things. But any other Lego news, updates, sets you bought recently, anything you've seen that's disappearing off shelves and you still haven't got yet, you've missed out on? Any leaks, rumors you've seen? General Tron likes the Jeep. I'm assuming you mean the Jurassic Park one. Yeah, we did talk about that in yesterday's show. You'll have to go and check it out on replay. And Luigi's Kart, yeah. I'm a Luigi guy. I generally, when I play Mario Kart, I play with my Mii character, which obviously looks like me. But if not, I'm usually Luigi, because it's like me and my brother dressed as Mario and Luigi once, and it's kind of funny because my brother's shorter and a bit rounder, even though he's older, and I'm like longer and thinner. So we were always a bit like Elroy and Jake Blues type thing, Mario and Luigi, that kind of group. So I always gravitated towards Luigi for that reason. And my brother tended to always be Mario when we used to play, but no, it's I do like Luigi's Mansion. But yeah, they do look good. I just wouldn't get them because they're just too big. No way to display them. They're a little bit oversized to display anywhere else in the house because they just look a bit odd. Like I said, we have the botanicals spread around the house. We've got one in every bathroom and in most rooms of the house, because they do actually look pretty good. They match our decor style, because we do have a lot of green throughout the house, because it's our favorite color, or my favorite color, but Kirsty actually likes it as well. So we tend to use those. But those Luigi, even though Luigi's green, I guess mostly green, they just look a bit out of place, and there's just no shelf space. I haven't got shelf space for the 3,000 Lego sets I've got, so I'm not going to fit that cart anywhere. But it does look good. I would love to. That's one of the few sets that I'd love to build and then give back, just for the enjoyable experience of building it and seeing it, something like that. Because I've never built something like that before, like a big display piece like that, and then just give it back and give it to someone else. So for me, it was always green. Was my color. Yeah, same. I'm a green guy. Green all the way. Default to Luigi. Yeah, same thing. Never Yoshi though. I mean, Yoshi's probably more green than Luigi, but I don't know what it is. Kirsty likes Yoshi, but she likes the black version of Yoshi, aka Bloshi. So but yeah, that aside, I'm a big Luigi fan. Oh, Papa Rex, build that set. Yeah, well, I've got to get a few more subscriptions first before we finish. I want to try and see if we can get to 5 subs at least during this stream. So I'm relying on those new people to the stream, aka Baines Urieta. Baines Urieta, hi. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Please go and subscribe. This is the road to 1K. You can't see it because I've covered it over here with this scrolling bar, but yeah, I'm streaming every single day. This is day 14 until we get 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help. The rest of the guys currently in the chat are already subscribed and tuning all the time. But you're new, so help us out. Give us a sub and stay. Enjoy the chat. Although it won't be a long one tonight because it's quite late here and I do need to get some sleep. But yeah, I mean, I think we had 1 sub already so far, but I want to try and get at least 5. I want to try and get 5 every stream as a minimum, because I've worked out if I get 5 for every stream, I think it works out like I only got to do this for like 70 days in total. I'm obviously on 14, so 2 and 3/4 months kind of thing. And wait a sec. Yeah, 2 months and a bit. And obviously there's some streams we've gotten more than that, so So that's the law of averages. But yeah, interested to know what Lego sets have you seen recently? What Lego sets have you bought anything recently? Have you seen anything that's leaked for this year or next year that's coming out that you want to go and get at some point, or you're going to be definitely going to be put on your list? Anything retiring soon that you worried you might miss out on? I've got my AirPods. I'm watching with the volume off at my kid's piano lesson. That's just for Papa Rex. Today is 63 Fahrenheit outside and feels like 70. Okay, not sure what that is in regular temperature, but it sounds warm. I see Hive is doing a stream tonight. Birthday stream tonight. Midnight, did I see? Or midnight my time, so in like 7 minutes. Is that right? Or is it tomorrow? I always get confused when it says 12 a.m. 17th to the 3rd. So I'm guessing it must be because his class is upcoming. If that is the case, I might finish this early and tune into that. Birthday stream, aka turn 49. 49 years of age, Jesus. I'm a natural polar bear. Oh. It's 60 in central Washington, wild as fuck. It was dumping snow 3 days ago. God damn. Bow trip. What's that, Bow? What are you doing, mate? If that's the Bow trip that I think it is, then welcome. Your dad has been saying a lot of nice things about you recently. But if not, and you just happen to have the same name as somebody else we know called Bow Trip, then apologize. But welcome to the stream either way. And don't forget to hit that sub button. Obviously like the stream as well, but subscribe and help us get to 1,000 subscribers, because that's the goal here. With my hair condition, I sweat at 70. So wait a sec, so you're saying you're in Oregon and it's like boiling hot? Papa Rex is in Washington, which is like the next state up. Oh, right, you're saying it's 16 now and it was dumping snow 3 days ago. Yeah, we use centigrade here, so I get confused with the Fahrenheit temperatures. Yeah, I prefer that. Although I think as I've gotten older, not so much, but I've worked in a freezer for like the first 10, 15 years of my career, working in frozen food retail. And, you know, as well as like constantly having my hands in freezers and stuff, I would typically spend a lot of time in the freezer, you know, obviously stocking up, putting deliveries away, grabbing stock. And, you know, at one point, one used to go in first thing in the morning at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was like where the fans had been running all night without any doors open or anything, you know, perfected the temperature. Before they were moderated, this was, because then they started moderating them, but this is just like normal fans. And it was like sometimes like minus 32. And it was like, Jesus, first thing in the morning, that would wake you up. But I think it had some long-term effect on me in a bad way, but also it hardened me up to the cold generally. But I will, as I'll be getting older, And now that I don't work doing that job so much anymore, well, don't do that job at all anymore, I have started to be a bit more sensitive to the cold than I ever used to be. But let me know, Tron, Paparax, Ken, Bowtrip, whoever else is in the chat, let me know, what are you guys up to tonight? What have you been doing today? Hopefully you had a great weekend. And let me know, what Lego sets you're feeling at the moment. Is it just, Star Wars, like me, and just kind of look at the Star Wars sets? I'm kind of glad they're not bringing out any amazing ones, so they ain't got to worry about being tied down to costs. Or are you, eyeing up some other themes, some other licenses? It's funny, for me, Saturday was 70, Sunday was 43, and then today 63. As much as I try to get the conversation to move on to Lego, everybody's just intent on talking about the weather, so we can't be enjoying them. I might turn my thermostat up to 22 earlier because it's about 18. And it regulates about that temperature indoors at this time of year, but I turned up to 22 because Kirsty was in bed and complaining that she was freezing cold. And our bedroom's on the top floor, so it's obviously the coldest. But within like 20 minutes I was roasting, and I went upstairs and she's in bed asleep, but like soaking wet, like where she's sweating. So it's like obviously going from one extreme to another. But good day, bloke. How doing, bloke? How's it going, Liam, mate? What are you up to? FY Boat Trip is our oldest. Yeah, I assumed it was. That's who it was, Wendy. It's just I'm sure I didn't, just because I didn't recognize the logo, the icon. I'm pretty sure he had a different one before. I wasn't 100% sure. And we do get a lot of like randomers hopping in and out of the stream, which are welcome as well, of course. It's the ones we know they are. So I just double checking whether it was actually him or not. But yeah. It's hey, look, don't worry about it, Tron. You talk about whatever you want to talk about, mate. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to acquiesce to you guys' conversation and just try and join in where we can. He keeps it fresh. Well, he's not streaming. But Liam's shucking some oysters. Knee deep in oysters, probably at the moment. Speaking of Liam, I did finally post some Tron stuff on my Insta. Light Cycles and all the primary space faction cars. Ooh, damn, I'm going to go check that out right now. God damn, boy. Ooh. We've had 2 subscribers since the stream started, which is amazing. One of them being Bo Trip, so appreciate you, Bo Trip. Now, let's have a little look. Let's look for the big man, General Tron. Minifig man. Okay, so you are, but follow me, I'll follow you back. Now let's look for him. Also we can spell General Tron is. Ooh, goddamn. Yeah, those is looking sweet. So is that? I can see the digital renders, but why have I never seen your stuff before, General Tron? I'm following you, but I don't recognize any of these posts. I've seen the abs one. I must have seen someone else share because I haven't liked any of those. I'm a serial liker. I tend to like everything I see. But I've backed up a little bit there with some likes. I always feel a bit bad. So yeah, so this is just, sorry, you used the Tron Legacy life cycle and just color swapped. Yeah, that looks amazing. That's pretty much what I wanted to do with the Tron Ares. The only difference is because I know I talked about doing it, so I'm not feeling as if either of us are ripping each other off. But obviously, I've had that idea for, well, since before Ares came out and when I first saw the trailer. But I wanted, rather than just as well as physically doing the build, I also want to have it as part of my rebrickable, my mock videos, which are going to be kind of MIDI scale content. So we got the long form show, obviously these little lives, and then and I got the shorts that I'll be doing a couple of times a week if I can. But then I'll be doing sort of medium videos, sort of like 3 to 10 minutes, just kind of showing, like, you know, the process of finding the bricks, the colors, what I have to do. So that's the plan. But these look like renders. So have you done all these on Studio? Or have you actually built any of these in person? Or are they just studio builds at the moment? Either way, I'm still going to do the Ares one. It doesn't look like you've done one directly like that yet. The only black and red one you've got on there's got a bit of light grey on as well. So, but yeah, like I said, when I do it, I'm going to do like a kind of tutorial of how I've done it. But I do like that image there. That's a good image with them all kind of coming down crossing the grid. Sweet. Well done, mate. Looks good. General Tron's bricks. What? General Tron's bricks? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I was just searching it. I made them on Studio and rendered them. Nice. Yeah, Tron has some great mocks. Yeah, I like the classic space stuff as well you've done. Oh, feel free to add to the run. I love seeing everyone's renditions. Yeah, like I said, in fairness, I've been, you know, even before I knew that, obviously, I hadn't seen those, but I thought about doing it. I'm probably not the only person who's done it, but I haven't seen anybody else do it. But I just wanted to sort of say, look, something along the lines of, I'm a huge Tron fan, new Tron film came out. Sadly, we didn't get any Lego sets, but we did get this Lego set from Tron Legacy and whatever time. And then a lot of it will be like images and like video. So it's not just me talking to the camera, a little bit of a break in between and voiceover. But with things like that, I like to script them so I know what I'm saying rather than just trying to do a little cut. And then it'll be like, so I wanted to build my own light cycle in the Tron Ares style. How am I going to do it? And then I'll just show like me going through like Bricklink and parting out the set and then changing the set to different colors and just showing people like some tips and tricks of what they can do for anybody who doesn't use Bricklink. And then it's like, yeah, order the parts arrive, and then obviously I'll have to pick up the film in somewhere else. That kind of thing. That's all I plan on doing. So it's a mock and a tutorial at the same time. I did slightly alter some, added a few 2x2 dishes. Oh yeah, I could see the wheels look slightly thicker. Did you hear? Oh, sorry. I'm reading it as I say. I'm like Ron Burgundy. Did you hear? We're getting a PlayStation 1 in Lego. I was reading it like, did you hear? Rather than did you hear, because you spelled it like here. I'm Ron Burgundy. Did you hear we're getting a PlayStation 1 in Lego? Yes, I did hear. We talked about it yesterday on the show briefly, but we didn't show any images because I don't think there are any officially. But I never owned a PlayStation 1. I only ever had a PlayStation 2 and I thought it was pretty shit, to be honest with you. I only bought it for the Star Wars game that was out, completed it, and then it just kind of sat on the side. In fact, I think I ended up selling it to a friend. I bought the silver one. But no, I was always went back to the Nintendo personally. But yeah, it is cool that they're doing that. Obviously, they did the Mega Drive. a while back. Or was that just the Mega Drive controller? I can't remember, but I'm not a big fan of like. I think they look good, but I'm not a big fan of just building a console. I mean, they look good in that they're really detailed and accurate. Like especially the wooden one that they did a while back, and I was like, I never would have known that that's what that was, and then it was built out of Lego at a glance. But also, it's like, I just don't know why you just want a Lego version of something that just looks like something else, just to sit there. I don't see the appeal in that personally, but that's just me. The Atari and Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, I never had a Nintendo Entertainment System. I had every console and have had every console since the SNES. It's kind of like a darker, more militant spin on classic space, like darker colors, sort of like how the Section 31 happened in the Kelvin universe of Star Trek. Not a Star Trek fan, so I don't know what that means, but no, I did get what you've done. We're using those colors, but obviously, I'm not really 100% sure how old you are, Jonathan. I think we alluded to it last time, but like classic space to me was grey and yellow. The spacemen were all yellow, and they did do like white and blue and a few other colors. But there wasn't a lot of. It didn't seem like there was a lot of mixed. I don't know if they remember being mixed colors. Like some of these color, like that one. I know what that one's based on. I can't remember what it's called. But is that class as classic space? I thought classic space was the original space. That came out way later, didn't it? Because that wasn't around when I was a kid. That came out when I was like a teenager. That's the bit like his Slurpee talks about that because he's got it in one of his things where they got that red top with the green on, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the classic space." And I'm thinking, but is it though? Because I thought classic space was like before they changed to that. Because the space I had was like the old squarish helmets. And they were only in like a couple of different colors, and then they moved to the new motorbike helmets where it was like a line going through the middle, and then they started doing all this stuff like after that. I don't know, it's just a way. Like I see people on Instagram all the time saying, I picked up these vintage Lego sets, and they're picking up like there's Lego sets from like mid 2000s. I'm like, what is that really? What? Because I always associate vintage with like when we talk about the vintage the vintage Star Wars action figures. For me, it's like vintage is like it's got to be like past a certain amount of time. I don't know what the age bracket is and how old something's got to be for it to become vintage. But I also think it's supposed to be the original version of something. So if people called the 1999 Lego sets vintage, okay, you get away with that. But even that doesn't feel old enough to be vintage to me. Because, you're only talking like 22 years ago. I'm only talking like 26 years ago. Not even that, 25 years ago. That's I don't know, it just don't seem old enough to be vintage. Because I don't remember, we never called the 77 to 83 action figure line vintage when I was buying Power of the Force figures in the mid-90s. It was just the original figures. They only started calling it vintage, like, way later when it was a lot older, so I don't know. But I can understand those being vintage because they were the original sets. So that's right. I don't actually know what classifies as vintage. That's what I've always wanted to know. I sent classic stuff. Oh, okay. The classic stuff, dark blue and reddish orange. But the Tron cycles were all the later factions after classic. I spun that right on with you. Furniture has to be 100 years old to be called vintage. Pretty sure Classic Space Era finished in '89. Yeah. Um, 48. Oh, yeah. So we are roughly about same age. Well, same age group. Pac-Man, arcade, and Game Boy. Oh, yeah. See, like Kirsty liked the Game Boy, and I was like, what are we gonna do there? Because I don't think they make good display sets, personally. Because they're just dust collectors. Because they're like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, all sets are dusty, but like with the flower sets, they're supposed to look like flowers when they stand there, and they haven't got a particularly good big footprint, and there's not really like. But you just have something laying flat on a unit where you can't really appreciate it unless you stood over it. It's just like, what are you doing with that now? It's just sitting there. Whereas like flowers aren't supposed to. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I just don't get that kind of stuff. At least with a spaceship, you can. Not that I'm gonna, but you can move it around. You can move the figures in and out of it, and you could, what's fun for me is the fact that it's a play set or can be played with, but you don't. Just like when people collect action figures, I get that. They can be played with, but they can be posed and they can be put on, and it does look sometimes good. But and even if people collect consoles, real consoles, because obviously you can play with them and you can do stuff with them. But when you just have a Lego set of just an inanimate object, I don't get it. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Let's just say we'll have a Lego set of a sunglasses case, or a Lego set of a dustpan and brush. Like, what the? I don't know. Like I said, it does show good. The way they've done the Game Boy and how like accurate it looks is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But I'd never even dream of buying something like that. Like, that would be like one of the last things I buy. If I was absolutely loaded to the gills and I won millions of pounds and I could buy any Lego set I wanted, I'd probably buy all the botanical sets before I ever buy just like a slab, a big grey slab that looks like something that you may or may not have ever owned in the past. I just don't. It just doesn't. Like, what are people going to do next? Are they going to build like a Lego 52-inch flat screen TV? Which obviously you can't play any TV or anything on it, but you just put it in your. Do you mean what for? Like, I don't know. It don't make any sense to me, but each to their own. People like that kind of shit, then more power to them. I just don't get it myself. I did like the arcade thing though, because at least that had like, you can open it up and you can put stuff in it. If they did that with all of the consoles, that would be fun. If you could open them up and then do any kid in there playing actual games or references to some of the classic games from that console, that'd be pretty cool. But just to have like, a Lego built version of the Nintendo just sat on the desk, it's just like, well, full on. Hot takes. Back to work. See ya. Oh, obviously Liam doesn't agree with my take there, so he's going. No, nice to see you, Liam. Get back to work, mate. Yeah, they wove Future on in this classic, then phased out classic. Future on. Yeah, that rings a bell. It was the same with Space Police. So when Space Police first came out, the bad guy was like all in black with a black visor, and he was like in the prison cell that was on the back of the ship, and it was all black, blue, with like the red trans pieces throughout, like lots of different red trans pieces, which were new at that point because they only ever came in solid colors before. So they were all launched, and it was like mint, light up, sounds great. But they had the bad guy, and he was just classed as like I think it was like I don't know, Space Criminal or something like that. I remember being on the box. But then that later on became like a space faction, which I believe was called Blacktron. But that's not what it was called at the time. So it was kind of like the gateway for that to start working, like, you know. But I just remember him looking cool. And also, I remember using that figure, that one figure I had, because I also had like a battle pack as well, something similar to a backpack with a couple of them in and some Space Police. So I'd have ended up having like 2 or 3 of those black, you know, what later became Blacktron figs. And I remember making a Darth Vader from it. I think I put like a cape, one of the black, the old plastic capes, which were like one solid piece. So it went on the neck underneath, and it was just like that at the back, and it just kind of like a slide. One of those in black on the back, and I think I swapped out the space legs for like black legs. I think they were plain black legs anyway, I can't remember. I had obviously black helmet on, but I put like a black head underneath or some different head underneath. I remember like pretending it was Darth Vader, because obviously that was the closest we were ever going to get at that point. Futron was first, then Blacktron 1, then Space Police, followed by M-Tron, then Blacktron Next Gen, Space Police 2, then Ice Planet. Well, so no, but what I'm saying is Space Police. I had the first Space Police set, and the character that later became Blacktron wasn't called. I'm going to see if I can find it on Brooklyn, because I just remember seeing that fig. I remember seeing that fig. Oh, just gone to Bricklink, and my man, what's his name? CPA is on the home screen. My profile picture is the Blacktron guy. Right, let's search for Space Police. So would have been around about mid-90s, mid-80s. Space Police set. See if I can find the one I had. Well, none of these look anything like what I had. These look way modern. Right, so it looked like that, the Galactic Peacekeeper, but it was bigger. That's a smaller version. So that would have been 1989. Is this it? No, that's a bit too big. Right, let me share screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So it wasn't this one, similar to this, but it was smaller. Slightly smaller than that. And this is when the Space Police had changed to this pattern from the old classic space to this, what I class as modern space, because obviously this came a lot later. Is it that one? I think it's that one. SP Striker, yeah, lights and sound. No lights and system, yeah. This is it. So the SP Striker. 1989. Any better pictures of that? Probably good pictures. Yes, that's it. That was the box. This must be like an alternate version of the box or something. I don't know what the hell this is. But this was... Still got the instruction booklet for this upstairs. So it was classed as Legoland then as well, not space. as in like that was what was on the box: Legoland, Space Police. I know obviously everything was Legoland then, but this is a slightly different box to what I had, because obviously boxes in the UK were different to the US. It's only recently they've started putting even set part amounts on them in the UK. So you had 2 minifigs. I guarantee you, at least in the UK, they didn't call it wasn't called Blacktron then. I'm sure it wasn't. I'll be interested to see if there are any Blacktron sets that predate this. Because obviously, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Like, I can still build this now, because effectively I've got all these parts, including the printed parts, somewhere in my collection. I've used elsewhere for mocks, so I might not be able to get them all back. But generally, it'd be the regular pieces that I can get back, so I can just reorder. So I might rebuild this, because I'll have all these canopy pieces and stuff in red. You know, this electronic light up piece. I'll have the, you know, all these pieces, these light pieces. I found them actually the other day. The figs, maybe not. They've probably, you know, if there's anything left of them, they'll see better days, but they're not hard to get hold of. But the rest of this will be up there somewhere in my collection. And I'm really tempted to rebuild this now, because when I was at Bricktastic, I wanted to buy some sets from the 3 themes that I was a fan of in the day, which was space, castle, and pirates, that I remember actually collecting sets from back in the day. So I wanted to rebuy in box with the box 3 sets, and I only managed to find a pirates and a castle set. I couldn't get a space one that I had. I might just rebuild this just for fun. So let's have a look. So that was 1989. Now it's probably easier if I just go to the minifigs and see where. I'm sure it was just regarded as bad guy or space bad guy. I don't ever remember hearing the word Blacktron, because I would have remembered that. It would have resonated with me. So let's see what other sets this dude was in. Ah, yeah, you're right. So he was in the Blacktron Alienator, which came out a year earlier. But I don't ever remember this set, or even seeing this set or this theme until way later. So that's interesting. So I'm just wondering if, was that a worldwide release? There's not really any way of telling. See if there's any items for sale. Someone in the UK's got one. Look, obviously I was, you know, a 9-year-old kid at the time, so it was not like I was really like, and there was no social media or internet or anything, so there was not any way to like looking up back then. But I just don't ever remember seeing. I hadn't even heard of Blacktron until I got into the wider community. Not even when I first got back into Star Wars and first got back into Star Wars Lego. I didn't hear about Blacktron until probably we started this show. So you're talking like 2 years ago. It's the first time I heard the word Blacktron. I was like, what the hell is Blacktron? And it was like, I thought it was just some like blaxploitation movie or something. It was like, no, it's the black guys from Lego. And I was like, oh, is that what they call them now? Black Space Men. And I was like, oh, is that what they call them? But yeah, this one was out in 1987. Well, this one say Blacktron. Yeah, it does. Wait a second, that's a different box. Oh, those are the instructions. Some of these boxes look slightly different to what we had. It's like with that SP Enforcer or whatever it's called. The images on there weren't something I'd ever seen before. And I actually owned the set. So that's the Peacekeeper. So that was like a smaller version of what I had, sadly, with the same amount of figs. Invader. Well, I have to stand corrected then, because I did not know these came out. So these came out later. Why would what gets me is, why would I have not been going out and buying a bunch of these at the time, especially because they had little sets like this. These would have been about £2. I would have been buying these up if I'd seen these, because it looks so cool. And I remember liking the Blacktron bad guy most of all. Even this, what the hell is this? This is a huge base. Nah, never heard of this, never seen it. So either one or two things happened. Either I was completely fucking oblivious to what was going on in the world, because like I never had this. I mean, this is 1991, so it was not that much later, but probably at this point I'd stopped collecting the space as much, because I don't remember ever seeing these symbols that are on the front with the M and the B. I never remember seeing that when I was a kid. So I was obviously out of Lego by then, into something else. But I don't remember. I remember these sets, these blue and red Space Police ones. Although I'd never seen that until I clicked on this now. I'd never seen that. Yeah, 987. This symbol here you can see, guys, that says Space Police up in the corner. I don't ever remember seeing that. The box, to me, I remember looking like this. Nothing's saying Space Police on here. And obviously your instruction booklet. So it's one or two things. I was completely oblivious. I didn't really know what was going on. Or they didn't get a worldwide release. Because I would have, like that. Why have I never seen that Space Police logo before? I wouldn't even be able to, prior to clicking on this brick link today, like whatever it was 10 minutes ago, I never would have been able to tell you what the Space Police logo looks like. Because I only went by the logo that was on the brick. So I would have assumed it looked like that. Not the brick, sorry, the printed parts that came in the set. See, this rings a bell. I think I had this. I remember I said that I had a set and I had a battle pack. So I had about 3 of these black guys, but also had obviously the other different colour Lego Spacemen in the new motorbike style helmets that came out. So I remember this, but I still don't ever remember. Yeah, this I recognise. So I had this, 100% had this. But I don't ever remember them being called, because they're not, to me, these aren't bad guys. They're just a bunch of guys in space suits. So yeah, this has really thrown me for a loop, this has, because I see that box, that wasn't the box I had. It didn't have this big blue band down the side. The box I had looked more like that. So yeah, I can only assume that maybe it didn't get released. It was, you know, the release of it was different in the UK. Maybe Blacktron wasn't released, or maybe, like you said, I'm just being an idiot, but I do stand corrected for not really knowing. But interesting. Anyway, obviously I'm still in the conversation now, so let's the first Space Police almost look like Futuron, but with red visors. Okay. Yep, that's the first Space Police. Still a bit of a white whale for me. I got a Space Police figure from a figure pack. Yeah, I'll still have the figures up there. They're just going to be in really bad shape. Because obviously I played the hell out of figures, and they were, like, you know, in the sand because I live near a beach. They were in the grass, in the garden. I would have had them in the bath. You know, and they would have been everywhere. You know, probably even dropped a few of them down the toilet and then had to fish them back out, give them a wash. From Saturn, EV7 Mtron is still my personal favourite, followed closely by Ice Planet. All the Ice Planet stuff. Yep, got that fig pack. Yeah, I definitely had that as a kid. Like, obviously there'll be nothing left of it now. Or I have anything left of it now. I don't even know where all my figures are. I've never even, since I got that big bin of Lego back from my parents. Bearing in mind, when I left home at 19, probably stopped playing with it at 12, 13. Between then and, I don't know, probably about 20 years later, my mum was a childminder, so that Lego got played with by half the kids in Barry. My mum used to look after from time, throughout her time as a childminder for like 30 years. So they all those sets and that got battered to pieces, especially the figs. I don't even know. The kids might have even broken, damaged, or lost the figs or stolen them. Yes. So I do remember like all the Lego being in pretty good condition because no one would have looked after it. But I know the figs, from what I remember, there wasn't many left. Just remember putting them all in a big bag and separating them when I went through the bin. And they've stayed in that bag since. Last thing about studios, I can still build one of those sets I never got. Yeah, I've never tried it. And that's my primary creative outlet until I have the fun to go physical again. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I might have to try studio one day. I just want those people who get too into new things, and then I can't put them down. So let's see if Hive is live. If it is, I might stream raid over to him. He's live right now. I'm going to go check that out. Right, let's see if, in the meantime, have we got any new subs? We've just got the 2, for the looks of it. I'm not going to keep holding out. I was only going to go till midnight, so I will. And it looks like everybody who is around is tuning into Hive's special stream, which is understandable. So I will add my 2 pieces to my set and move on. And for anybody watching this on oops, got a bit too far. Anybody watching this on replay, this is the right, let's get rid of that. This is the, as it says down here, for every new sub we'll add 1 part to the set. The set we're currently building is the 7754 Lego Star Wars Home 1 Calamari Cruiser. This is what I built so far from all the subscriptions we've gained. And this is day 14 of streaming every day live until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this on replay, or if you're just tuning in now, go and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate every sub because it helps me grow the channel, helps us increase the size of this community or this sub community, and our kind of little cool hang family, but it also means I can build this set. So please don't give it a sub. And yeah, I'm gonna finish it up here, but I'm just gonna find the next 2 parts that I've got to go on this build. Oh, excuse me, and move on. So day 14, as always, if we get any more subscribers after I've written this number down, we'll add on tomorrow. Day 14 is 2 extra subscribers, which means 2 extra parts. 2 parts I'm going to pick today are 2 white 1x2s, which I'm going and measure. It's a good thing about doing on a stream, is that I can show you guys the parts. So as you can see, we're going to add these 2 white 1x2s to the set right now, and then say goodbye. I can find them. There's one, there's the other. There you go. So those 2 white parts, and then on next stream we're going to be adding this control panel. So there you go. there we have it, guys. Day 14, 368 subscribers has helped me build this much. And yeah, tune in tomorrow for another live stream, hopefully a little bit earlier tomorrow because I'm off work. And in the meantime, have a great Monday. Go and check out Hive's stream if you're watching us live. He's doing a special birthday stream, so I'm going to pop over there now, say hello to him, and catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Ding, 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 ding. Right, where are we? Sorry. Right,